So, when most people speak to trafficking, they speak to it very directly as if it is only somebody being sent to another person to perform some intimate act outside the bounds of pure, firm consent. So, we only maybe sometimes register it in that way. But I'll throw a couple of scenarios out to you and show you other ways you can potentially become a targeted person without knowing that maybe you're in the middle of some sort of attempt of trafficking or you've been promised to another person. For instance, let's say you have a partner who gambles, and one evening they are doing really well. And one of the friends says, listen, you can put up $50,000 or you can give me one night with your lady. And your partner is doing very well. And they say, I will I will bet you one night with my lady. It'll never happen, but I'll bet you one night with my lady, and they lose. Well, now this person owes this gambling debt, right? And they've got to convince you to do it, but they know they're not going to be able to do that. You can become a targeted person if these people want to set up a strategic plan to find out your vulnerabilities, to find out your schedule, where you're going to be, so that they can plot an essay towards you. I mean, for any particular reason, you can be promised to another person and have no idea that this is happening. One of the most common things that's going on with trafficking is setting up hidden cameras in private places where people live or where they are vulnerable, and setting up subscription services on that streaming camera in that room so that people can pay to watch you without your knowledge in that room doing whatever you do for however long they choose to pay for that subscription. You never know the camera's there, you never collect any money, yet there are people who now know you, they know your intimates, they are watching you in your bedroom, in your bathroom, wherever, and you never know that. And then one day you decide to leave. No notice, you just decide to leave. You can become a targeted person if these people are now looking to find out where you're going next. I've paid to watch this person a year-long subscription. They've left now this location 3 months in. I want my money back, or I need to find out where they're going next so we can set up cameras again. This is why it's really diligent and important that you take particular precautions when you're renting spaces. These are all the ways that people are making money. These are some of the ways, not all of the ways that people can potentially make money on you on the black market. And you never know. You can also be promised to someone if you have someone in your life who may dabble in the arts and you have particular gifts. You are what is called a high value sacrifice. These kind of things are real. People believe that they aren't because the church has made you believe that you are safe from that. Only devil worshipers do that. But I don't want you to forget that Jesus is dead and people are still drinking his blood and eating his dead body. I mean, you can take it to mean whatever you want it to mean, but if they're doing that in church in a way to be honorable, what do you think they're going to be doing outside of the church where there are no boundaries, people aren't watching, and there are truly no rules? Don't be under the impression that some of these people who you see in society who are doing very well, they're making major changes in our society. They're coming up with inventions for things. They are creating cures for things. They are looking at the world in new perspective. They have the power to change it, and then they automatically, something happens to them. They come up deceased or passed away, right? Oftentimes these people are, what they've created has been promised somewhere to someone else for them to express out to the world. So they've got to go. There are so many reasons you could be a targeted individual. If you have spiritual gifts and you're telling people the truth about things that the government isn't ready to be talked about, you could become a targeted individual. If someone has simply reported you to the government as a terrorist, terrorist, then you can absolutely become a targeted person just off that. I mean, people can watch you for almost any reason and decide that any word you use, anything you say is some sort of expression of you doing this thing you've been accused of. People are often looking for their opportunity or their excuse or reason to punish you, be it in the law or unlawfully. But there are so many reasons you could be targeted, and God forbid you have a thriving business. And, you are now stepping in the way of something someone else thought that was meant for them. You can easily become a targeted individual. Someone can send people out to find you, get you, ensure that you don't talk anymore. You can become a targeted individual for that. And by the way, I want you to consider every time Cassie ran away from Diddy, she was promised back to him by the people who went to get her. The people who went to get her were paid a fee. They had a plan. They often had strategy, and they had a deliverable. Deliver this person back to me. She was someone who was being promised back to Diddy every time she left. So again, you can be a targeted person for many reasons, and it can change varying on what your situation is. But if you're not a targeted person, this isn't for you. This is for people who are targeted, absolutely know why they're targeted, or they know that they are being targeted, and often they have some clue of why they could be a targeted individual. I hope that helps.